On Monday morning during a discussion which appeared on CNBC's Squawk Box, I addressed some of Richard Thaler's findings in his examination of whether NFL teams overvalue first-round draft picks while undervaluing later-round picks. Despite all the advanced metrics being developed to assess ideal playing strategies, training methods, and other in-game and out-of-game dynamics, the toughest thing to assess to this day across all sports is to determine which collegians will make the best professionals. Who will have staying power? Who will be a consistent starter? Who will become a stud? Even in horse racing, there is no magic formula. American Pharoah, on the verge of becoming the first Triple Crown winner since Affirmed in 1978, was bought at $300,000. With wins at the Kentucky Derby and the Preakness, experts place his value between $15 minus $20 million. With the Triple Crown, the same experts place his value at $30 million. Intuitively, we would expect first-round draft picks to be more likely to a. Make and stay on NFL rosters, b. Start a higher percentage of games during their careers, and c. Make the NFL's All-Pro team. But it also makes intuitive sense that latter rounds of the draft can add value as well. The average length of an NFL career is 3.3 years, according to the NFLPA. And rosters are 53 men deep. Thus, building depth and replenishing talent requires teams to have some acumen in selecting players deep into a draft. Mr. Thaler's research on this subject is much more extensive than mine, but here are 3 morsels to consider when tracking NFL draft efficiency. Point 1. Correlation between draft position and starter status. Using Pro Football Reference as a resource, I looked at all players who were classified as starters at the beginning of the 2014 season to determine what round they were drafted in upon entering the league. Of the 595 players designated as such, the results reveal the following. Nearly 30% of all starters were first-round draft picks when drafted into the league. Roughly 30% were taken in either the second or third round. Roughly 26% were taken in either rounds 4 through 7. Undrafted players, 14%, were the third most likely group to comprise 2014 starters, only behind first round, 30%, and second round, 18%, picks. Point 2. Correlation between draft position and staying power. Given that the average career length is only 3.3 years, this begs the question of how much more likely are higher draft picks to stick around the league longer than later draft picks. For simplicity, and with more time I would like to build a larger sample size, I looked at all players drafted in the 2010 draft, and gauged what percentage of games over those 5 years, a max of 80 games, have players started,